Welcome to this presentation on V15 SDR improvements. My name is Alan Gray and I am the Technical Director here at 12D Solutions. Today I'll just give you a glimpse at some of the improvements which will definitely make using the SDR editor much more efficient and an enjoyable process. Okay, so as said, the agenda here is improvements, and we'll now go through some of these features. Okay, the first little one, which may seem minor, but every SDR opcode can have comments. Previously, you had to always go into the particular command in question and see that, to see that actual comment. Now, it just displays it at the end of the line for you. Asterisks, to denote when a measurement has child opcodes. So for example, if you're doing a measurement and you decide to adjust the height by some constant or radial offset, having them as children is great, but of course makes it harder to find them. So the star is just there to show that there's additional special opcodes. Auto-toggling view settings. This is a big one. Normally, you find yourself having to toggle on and off point IDs or Z values or other settings endlessly as you zoom in and out from your survey, because obviously when you zoom out too far, you have too much information there. So this auto toggle will actually just highlight the string in question within the SDR editor. Again, I'll come back and demo this shortly. Find and replace now can remain active whilst you're doing edits. So this is really great for when you're doing lots of bulk edits, or you're trying to find 26 occurrences of some feature code because you miscoded EB1 as EB11. And so you can just find, replace, and make lots of edits far more efficiently. And another interesting one, really only makes a lot of difference in 3D, but where we draw our radiation highlights from your instrument to the measurement in question. In 3D now, it'll actually show the instrument height and target height, and even label those in 3D for you, so that if you're trying to understand your survey, having a perspective view up at the same time can be very, very useful. Okay, so here we're just showing a little picture. Again, I'll go demonstrate this shortly, where we're just got a tiny little survey, and here I'm just making a note. Now you can see this is where the comment was added at the end of the line. The asterisks, again, reiterating, this is showing that there's some child attributes for this coordinate opcode. And if we expand that, we'll see that it's an offset measurement. And also showing all of these, the find, replace, and actually editing a coordinate all up concurrently. Here we'll show that as we navigate through the different coordinates, you could seeing that only parts of your data is being labeled with vertex IDs, and in this case vertex attributes. Okay, I'll go and do a little bit live. What would be a demo from me without some sort of live demo? Okay, we'll just go and clear that window. So when we expand here, you'll see, again, here's our manually added comment. So if I go and get rid of that and update it, you'll see that the comments disappeared. Okay, I want to keep that, so for now we'll we'll keep that. If we expand down to this coordinate where we have the star, you can see the offset measurement is there as a child. So the star just gives you that extra little key that, ooh, there's something interesting in there. I'll just come back in a second because I've just missed one little point here as part of this PowerPoint. Okay, another really important feature here is log lines. I know it was actually further up in the PowerPoint, I forgot to mention it. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to apply some opcode to a non-existent point. What will then happen when we reduce, it'll actually show us some log lines in the output window. Then we can go and double click that log line and go straight to the offending opcode. It's honestly, it is that easy. So here we're showing a picture. We've already reduced, and you'll see this log line has appeared down the bottom in the output window. So I'm going to do that for real. In this case, I'm actually going to do it to a different opcode, just to show that I'm going completely off script here and that this is actually a live demo. So we're going to try to say, let's apply this offset measurement to a code XX. As soon as we try to apply, it's going to go, nope. And if we go and have a look in here, we can see that opcode. So just to prove, if we go and collapse this function completely and double click, there you can see it's actually expanded the tree down to that opcode and opened up the measurement for us. We can go a bit further if we actually have this closed down and go, let's go double click there. It'll actually open up the SDR editor for that function in question. And now I'm just going to reset that just to go back to my original data. Now I'm just showing the picture. Another real-world example, this actually was a third-party field file that was created from a style sheet from job.xml. The error in question was in a resection between our phase 1 and phase 2 measurements, they inserted a target height record, which I don't think I've ever seen a phase 1, phase 2 measurement having different target heights. It just doesn't make any sense. Again, just showing you the picture. Okay, here's our log line, and you'll see it's just telling us there's unsupported commands occurring between the phase 1 and phase 2. And if we double click on that, it actually opens up to the nearest spot possible, which was the next measurement after the target height, and opened up that command. So in this case, we probably would cancel this and actually go, well, why is there a target height record in there? There really shouldn't be. Just before we finish, I'll just go to another live little fragment of demo, this data set here. Okay, so again, this is actually showing the dynamic view highlighting. So as we're wandering down the commands, as soon as we go to this first string, you'll see magically for that particular string in question, it went and labeled the point IDs for just the string surveyed. So, and as we bounce along down through the job, you'll then see the next string is highlighting its vertex IDs, point IDs if you must. So that's just such a handy little way of not having to do what you had to do in V14 was if we had the point IDs on. Whoops, let's see if I can get that right. And, you know, you always had this and it was always like, oh, I was having to zoom in, zoom out to try to find the points in question. Now, the SDR editor will actually do it for you. So you can see even at this scale, zoomed out quite a long way, you're not getting this incredible clutter of every vertex ID, point ID being displayed on the entire view for every single string in your survey. So that's just some of the V15 SDR improvements. There are a lot of other little ones all over the place. There's heaps of other survey presentations, either in the birds of a feather or by other staff at 12D Solutions. We obviously in the future will have more webinars planned to introduce new features in much more detail than what I can do in the 10 minutes that that I was supposed to take. I'm already over time. So all these SDR improvements enable users to better beat the project clock. Thank you very much for your time.